Hi everyone, this is Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks so much for joining me for another video tutorial today. Today we're doing another project using the Autumn Leaves bundle. We used this on our card class on Thursday. I still have the special going on. If you place a $35 order, I'll send you all 6 cards to make from the card class. And if you spend $50, you'll get all 6 cards plus the pastel rhinestones, which are gorgeous. This is my set, which is, I have leftovers of many sets in there because I use them so much. So please use the October host code below to place your online order, and I will send those to you. Okay, so I am using these 2 items, and then I'm also using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm using 2 of the squares, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a minute. So I wanted to make kind of a fun shaped card, so I started with our 12 by 12 basic white cardstock, and I used a half sheet, so we're making this a giant 6 by 6 card. Love this. It's just so pretty. You'll see in just a minute. So I had a piece. This is, I think, 5.5 by 5.5 basic white cardstock. And I have run this through the die cut and emboss machine with the wood grain or hardwood embossing folder. Okay, I've already run that through just to save a little bit of time. And then you have the option, you can have your wood grain going vertically, or you can have it going horizontally. I think I'm gonna go with horizontal for today, but either way is good. This wood grain folder, you can use all year long. It is great for masculine cards, just for even a background. So versatile. Okay, now I have a little piece of pecan pie. I gotta remember the colors. Pecan pie cardstock, and then another square of basic white. And I'll put all the measurements on my blog so you don't have to worry about finding those. So I'm going to use some pecan pie ink. This is the only ink color we're using. And I'm using this stamp set, or the stamp out of the set called, and it says, Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. I just think this is the prettiest font, the prettiest stamp. We're going to stamp this right in the middle of our white. Look how beautifully that stamps. Then I have one that just says with a grateful heart, and I am going to attempt to stamp it on the inside of my card. Now, if you wanted to, you could make a smaller, make a matte and another white to make your writing area a little smaller. I know not everybody likes to write a lot. I just write, on a card like this, I just write really, really large. And that solves the problem. Okay, we are going to just adhere this to the center. Okay, and then we're going to adhere it to the front of the card. Right here. Let's see, does that look centered? Let's do a center. 12. I think that's close enough to center for me. Okay, so now I have cut out of basic white. I took those 2 stitch squares out of the Stylish Shapes, and I put them together on a piece of white and ran that through the die cut machine and made this little thin white frame. So I want to pop this up. You could use the sides of your dimensionals, or if you have some of we have some strips. I have some little pieces of our adhesive strips. I'm just gonna grab, sometimes I cut them small depending on the projects that we're using them on. I'm just gonna put a short strip on each side. I love these things. These are awesome for really small, thin areas that you want to pop up. Okay, peel that off. Get this one. Okay. These are great for shaker cards, for shadow box cards, anything. All right, now I want to put this evenly so I have that pecan pie cardstock even all the way around. Just adding that little frame. Look how much that pops. Love that. Okay, we're gonna bling it up a little. You can leave it as is, but we're gonna bling it up a little bit. So I've die cut one of the leaves using the oxidized copper paper. Now you could also just, you know, whatever color you have. And then I've die cut a little twig out of the pecan pie cardstock. So I am going to just put a little adhesive and glue that down right on the corner of the frame. So I'm just using a little bit. And I think I'll put it right here. Okay. I got glue on my fingers. Okay, put that there. And then if you want, you could pop this up. Again, I am not, because we already have one layer of pop-up, so I'm just going to put a little glue here, right on the corner. And I'm going to glue this down right on top. Okay, we'll let that dry. I've got that twig branch popping out, which I think I'm going to trim off. Let's just trim off the bottom of that twig. Or we could bend it. Hold on, I can pull that off. Okay, let's get this back on. Okay, that's going to dry. We'll give it just a second to dry. I have a little piece of linen thread, so I'm going to tie a bow, a small bow. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll cut off that extra. And I'm just going to use a little bit of, just a little dot, since that's already out, that will hold our bow on. You can use a glue dot too if you need to, but just that little dot of glue will hold that on. Okay, then I have our neutral, I think they're called neutral sequins. They're in the big catalog, but they come in copper, gold, kind of this brown and silver. So I'm using the brown one. And I'm just going to add a couple of these, a small and a large. You could add, I'm going to do another small one. Maybe in a little bit. We'll put this one out. Just like that. You could add more if you want. You go, go to town. But that's it. Isn't that gorgeous? I think that is so pretty. That would actually look really pretty in a frame. If you had a little 6x6 frame or a 5x5 frame, you could add that. Or you could mail it to someone. Now, we don't have envelopes this big, but I did find some envelopes. They're kind of like for invitations on Amazon. They're not the same colors, so they don't look as pretty, but they're 6.5 by 6.5, so they fit these big 6x6 cards perfectly. Or you can make your own envelope if you are so inclined and have the ability to do that. Or you could put it in a frame and make it a framed art. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. Make sure if you place an order this week to use the October host code, and you'll get some free goodies in the mail, and who doesn't love that? And make sure to check back on Monday. I have one more fun card, a fun fold to share with you, and I will see you then. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.